Good evening, friends. Good evening, students. A very warm good evening to everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. And once again, I extend my very thanks to everyone who has been participating in this webinar from the right day one. And this has up to now, this has been a wonderful section, and we are very aware of this section. We are discussing about development of vaccination, right? And we have seen up to now 6 webinars, and this was the 7th one. And today we are mainly going to focus on the types of vaccine, right? So I would like to once summarize the key highlight points what we have discussed in the last webinars. So we have discussed importance of vaccination, the discovery of vaccine, and then we have discussed about the Louis Pasteur and Edward Jenner contribution. Next, we have also dealt with the immune system. Okay, the soul of the vaccination was immune system, and we have discussed what is innate immunity and adaptive immunity, right? And last class we have been discussing about this humoral immunity, how the antibiotics were synthesized, right? And today is another an important webinar, and this is going to be a significant one, and I hope everyone is very looking forward for this. And today the main topic that we go forward with this is types of vaccines. Okay, so the main thing about here is that how these vaccines are classified. Okay, so the vaccines are classified mainly. The vaccines are classified mainly into different types. Okay, based upon their dosages available. Okay, this is one classification. Another classification is based upon the types of the vaccine that are present, right? See, the types of vaccines they are available where you will have an monovalent vaccine, you will have an polyvalent vaccine, and a combination vaccine. Okay, so what is this monovalent vaccine? So monovalent vaccines means, see, only this vaccine, mono means one. So these vaccines are given only for a single disease or for a single infection. Then they are called monovalent vaccines, right? For example, measles vaccines. The vaccine that is given for the measles is a monovalent vaccine, right? And another classification is polyvalent. Poly means many, right? So you're having polyvalent vaccine where, for example, oral polio vaccine. Okay, it is given for different strains of polios. Okay, there are different strains. For all this combined, they are giving this polyvalent vaccine, right? So it is applicable for different strains, right? So this is called polyvalent vaccine. First one is single strain and single disease. Next one is a disease may be same, but for multiple strains it can be given at a time. So it is called polyvalent vaccine. Another one is combination vaccine. For example, your DPT vaccine. Okay, this is a combination vaccine against different types of bacteria. Okay, for diphtheria and tetanus. Okay, and trichus. For these three, this common DTP vaccine is given. Okay, so this is a combination vaccine, right? So these are the classification mainly based on how these are available for us, right? So this is one type of classification. So the vaccine can be available as mono vaccine, polyvalent vaccine, or combination vaccine, right? So these are vaccines, how they were available. But coming into types of vaccine, there is another significant classification where we have to classify these vaccines based upon their technique used. Okay, or the technology followed to develop these vaccines is the prior important. Okay, so so this you can look into the screen. These are the 7 broadly classified types of vaccines are the techniques used. Okay, so we can classify all the vaccines available into these types based upon their technique that is used. Okay, they have used different technique, and these are the techniques. Based upon the techniques used, they have been our technology used, they have been classified into this. Okay, so the first one is live attenuated vaccine. Live attenuated vaccine. Second one is inactivated vaccine. Third one, you are having subunit vaccines. Fourth one, you are having toxic vaccines. And the fifth one is conjugate vaccines. And sixth, you are having DNA vaccines, recombinant vector vaccines, right? So these are the 7 different vaccines based upon the techniques that has been used to develop them. Okay, so once again, I'm repeating them. The first one is live attenuated vaccine. The second one is inactivated vaccine. And the third one is subunit vaccine. Then toxoid vaccines, conjugate vaccines, DNA vaccines, recombinant vector vaccines, right? So these are the 7 classes, how these vaccines has been classified based upon the methodology by which they were developed. Clear? So the 7 things, one is live attenuated, another one is inactivated, subunit, toxoids, conjugate, DNA, recombinant, right? So now we will highlight each one of this and we will study about this vaccines. And before studying about the vaccine, I would like to implicate 3 things for you. We should never forget these 3 implications. Okay. So how you can check an vaccine? Okay. So for checking the vaccine, 3 parameters you should remember. Okay. One is response. How much response it is creating. See, all the vaccines are given to produce response, immune response. So the first parameter you should remember is how much response is it producing. And the next one is you should see the safety of the vaccine. And the third one is stability of the vaccine, right? These 3 things are prior things to be followed. See, let the vaccine be made by any of these 7 techniques, but these 3 things should be mandatory. Okay, so what are the 3 parameters? That is, one is the efficacy, another one is the safety, another one is the stability. These 3 things you should keep in the mind. Okay, so these 3 factors should be successfully satisfied by an vaccine candidate. Okay, so any vaccine before it developed, they are called as candidates. So if any vaccine candidate is not enough to produce a required immunological response, then it was not successful. And if it is not safe, it is not successful. And if it is not stable, okay, stability factor is also very important. Why? Because vaccines will be prepared somewhere and they should be administered to somewhere. Okay, so there should be a stability factor both in vitro and in vivo. In vitro means, no, in vitro means in the glass, in vivo means inside us. Okay, outside of the body and inside of the body, both in vitro and in vivo, the stability of the vaccine should be maintained, right? Now we will look into each type of vaccines, okay, each methodology, and we will discuss some of the vaccines that are produced by that methodology, and we will hide it. Okay. So the first method is live attenuated vaccines. Okay. So what are this live attenuated? So the keyword for this is attenuated. Okay. So what is this attenuated means? See, you take something and make it less virulent or make it less effective, then it is called attenuated. Okay. So in previous webinars, I told if you take a snake, poisonous snake, and you remove the flanks, poisonous flanks of that snake, then the snake is no more a poisonous snake. Okay. Same way, we are decreasing the excuse me. So I have told that. So if you take a cobra and remove it poisonous fangs, then it is no more poisonous snake. Okay, but still it is an cobra. Same way, if you take the samples of the virus and you attenuate it, means you will decrease the virulence of the vaccines. So when the virulence of the vaccine is decreased, it is called attenuated form. Still it is an live, it is not dead cells. Remember, this is the main important thing. See the cells, or for example, you are developing a vaccine for tuberculosis. Okay, tuberculosis is developed by is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this Mycobacterium, so this Mycobacterium, what it will do? They will collect this Mycobacterium and they will decrease this attenuated, or they will decrease the virulence of this Mycobacterium, right? So someone asked me to explain in Telugu also. Okay, I will try. As for time permit, we will go bilingually. I will be speaking, right? Okay. So what is attenuated? Attenuated and decreasing the virulence or the power of any infectious virus. See, one thing you should remember here is the cells are not killed. The cells are alive. Only the virulence is decreased, right? This is the main thing you should remember. Okay, and some of the examples for them is chickenpox virus, measles virus, mumps virus. These all are live attenuated viruses. Okay, how this they will do? Okay, see, for example, this is an very long process. Okay, for example, BCG vaccine. BCG vaccine was for tuberculosis is mainly developed because of this technology, right? It is a live attenuated vaccine. How it was developed? Okay, what they did here? See, they will take the samples of this Mycobacterium, and the samples were collected, and they will be stored in different. Yeah, yes, madam. You can have next slide. They will be stored in. Yes, they will be stored in different conditions. Okay, in different medium. Okay, for a long period of time, for around 13 years, 15 years. So slowly what happens, the virulence of this bacteria will come down. Then they will, see, bacteria will not die, only the virulence will come down, or they will be attenuated. Then they will take this and will directly prepared as vaccine and administered. So here the cells are not dead. Okay, remember that. Only they are decreased their virulence. Okay, this is the importance of this live attenuated vaccine. Okay, so coming into this live attenuated vaccine, so immune response, since they are giving not dead cells, directly alive cells, it will produce the immunological response very fast. Okay, but the dangerous effect, side effect, can have next slide. So the dangerous side effect in this is, since the cells are not dead, okay, if they are given in the body, there are the chances for the cells to regain their virulence again. అర్థమవుతుంది కదమ్మా, ఇవేం చేస్తారంటే విరులెన్స్ తగ్గించి వ్యాక్సిన్ గా ఇస్తారు. దీనిలో బిగ్గెస్ట్ సైడ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఏంటంటే, when they go into your body, okay, in some cases, not all cases, they may again become virulent. Okay, again they may regain the virulence. Okay, so this is one of the, since they are not dead cells, since they are alive cells, so this is one of the disadvantage in this. And what is the main advantage means, since they are live cells, they can easily produce the immune response. Okay, very fastly they can produce the immune response. This is what another thing. And coming into safety, I told no, they are a little bit risky. Okay, and the stability, they are having very good stability, right? So these are the things with this live attenuated vaccines. And some of these live attenuated vaccines examples are vaccine for tuberculosis, BCG vaccine, oral polio vaccine, okay, and yellow fever vaccine. Okay, these are the some of the examples where these vaccines were prepared by using this method, live attenuated method. Okay, so the next method is inactivated vaccine. Okay, see what the scientists will do here, they will produce an inactivated vaccines. Here the cells, same like they will extract the cells from the microbes, but here the cells will be killed. Okay, the microbes, the virus or the bacteria is not attenuated, but it is killed, right? So they are killed by different methods, okay, such as thermal method. Okay, with the heat they will kill, and then they will keep. Now presently the most method is used by gamma rays. They will send the high gamma rays into the culture, and these microbes and viruses will die. Okay, ultraviolet and gamma rays were used, formaldehyde was used. Okay, so here in inactivated vaccines, there will be a dead cells, not the live cells. This is the difference between live activated attenuated vaccine and inactivated vaccine. There will be dead killed cells. Okay, okay, so there is one other good news about this is that so when they are, since they are killed cells, even though if they go into the body, they cannot relapse or they cannot mutate into a virulent form. Why? Because they were dead ones. Okay, so the vaccines for the examples for these are influenza vaccine, polio vaccine, hepatitis A, and rabies vaccine, right? So these are the some of the examples for this inactivated vaccine. Okay, so there are methods, again methods for this. So heat can be used, chemicals can be used, reagents can be used. Okay, so these are all different methods to kill the pathogens that are present in the vaccine, right? Yes, you can have the next slide. Okay, so now some of the examples are vaccine for Salmonella typhi, Vibrio cholerae. Okay, these are these rabies vaccine. All these are killed vaccines. Okay, where the microorganisms are killed and then they are prepared as a vaccine and administered. Okay, so they are not live attenuated vaccines, but there are killed vaccines. Okay, inactivated vaccines also we can tell, are killed vaccines we can call them, right? And coming into the safety and efficacy of these vaccines, and these are called inactivated whole cell vaccines. Okay, and the main important advantage of these vaccines are here the relapse or the mutation of the virus will not happen. See, in live attenuated vaccine, in some cases, the virus may go inside and it may become virulent. So it may become powerful inside, even though it is attenuated. For some conditions, it may go inside and become active. But here, in killed vaccines, since these are killed cells, they cannot ever again become alive. So they are very safer than the live attenuated vaccines, right? And see, another disadvantage of this, see, they are very slow in producing immune response. Why? Because there are dead cells. They are dead cells. They will produce immune response, but not as quicker as live attenuated virus. Why? Because they are directly alive cells we are giving, alive pathogen we are giving. Here we are giving it dead pathogen, dead pathogen. So there may not be an stronger immune response as compared to the live vaccines. So there will be a weaker response, right? And coming into safety, so as I discussed, there is very safety because they cannot mutate inside the body, right? And stability is very good. Stability profile for this killed vaccines is or inactivated vaccines is very good. So some of the examples are IV polio virus, okay, inactivated polio virus, and WP virus for pertussis. Okay, so these are all different vaccines that are prepared by attenuated form. Okay, and the next type of vaccines are subunit vaccines. Subunit vaccine. So the name itself represents this subunit vaccines. So what are these subunit vaccines? Okay, see the in first two methods, that is activated method, live attenuated vaccine, and then killed vaccines. For in these two methods, the whole cells is taken, whole pathogen is taken. But here, the full pathogen is not taken, only a portion of the pathogen is taken. So only they are called subunit vaccines. Okay, so instead of entire microbe, only a subunit vaccine. See, only the antigen part is taken. Means which part is proved to be very pathogenic, which protein is responsible for that pathogen in that, which responsible for the disease in that pathogen is only taken. See, if the full, for example, in TB, Mycobacterium full is not dangerous. Only the antigen or the proteins which are present in them will act as antigens, right? Only that antigen part will be isolated, or that protein part will be isolated, or that membrane part will be isolated, and then it is given it as vaccine, right? So only they are called subunit vaccines. So the whole cell is not taken. See, remember this difference in live attenuated and killed vaccines, the whole cells are taken. In first one, live cells are taken. In second one, the cells are killed and taken. In the third one, that is subunit, whole cell is not taken, only the portion. See, here it is dead. It is a dead one only, killed one only. So in the killed one, you are taking only the portion of the pathogen. So it is called subunit. We are taking only one unit of the pathogen. Let it be antigen or a protein, okay, or an DNA sequence, okay, or an mRNA sequence, or an plasma part, okay. So these are taken as subunits. So this only the part is taken. So remaining makeup of the microbes are removed, and only the antigen part, mainly the antigen part is concentrated, and the antigen part is taken. So the main example for this subunit vaccines were this plague vaccine for plague. This is mainly prepared by this methodology. Okay, subunit vaccine methodology. So some of the available subunit vaccines are, see, yeah, you can change the slide, ma'am. You can go for slide number 13. Slide number 13. So protein support can be taken. For example, in diphtheria and tetanus viruses, the protein support of this are taken. And another is bacteriopolysaccharide can be taken. Only a sugar part can be taken. Okay. In pneumonia and Neisseria, in these diseases, the bacteria's polysaccharide was taken. There a sugar chain of the pathogen is taken as the subunit and vaccine is prepared. Then a protein subunit is taken from diphtheria pathogen and then it is prepared, right? Then a viral glycoproteins. See, these glycoproteins are on the cell membrane. So these glycoproteins can be taken and the vaccine can be prepared. Okay. So these are the subparts or the subunit of the pathogen. So these are taken and then they are prepared. Okay, and synthetic peptides also can be prepared. Okay, so if the pathogen is having epitopes, active antigen epitopes, they can be isolated and they can be prepared artificially, and this part artificially prepared can be given as the vaccination. They are called synthetic peptides. Okay, so in subunit there will be protein subunit, there can be polysaccharide subunit, they can be viral glycoprotein subunit type, they can be synthetic peptides also, right? So these are all different subunit vaccines available. Okay, and then coming it's into its efficacy, safety, and stability. I told you, see, after studying every vaccine type, you should look for these three parameters. Don't forget. If three parameters, one is immune response, safety, and the stability. Like, okay. So these are not, see, the dead cells are given here, and the full cell is also not given. Only the excuse me, only the portion of the cell is given. So these are not, these will not produce the strong immune response as live attenuated vaccine. Okay, so they will produce a list, and the action of the immune response also will be slow, not faster. It will be slow, and it will be less when compared to live attenuated vaccines. Okay, so this is about immune response. So coming into safety, since there is no live pathogen involved in this vaccine, so it has no risk. Okay, so coming into safety, it is very safe. Okay, and stability, see, we are not taking the whole pathogen, we are taking only a subpart of the pathogen, so the stability can be excellent. Okay, so the sample size can be reduced. Okay, and see, the storage of the vaccine can be improved. Okay, and the preparation will be easier. Okay, and the quantity can be decreased. So these are all so many factors which will make this subunit vaccines very stable. Okay, so the stability profile will be very strong for this subunit vaccines. So some of the subunit vaccines available in the market are hepatitis B vaccine. Okay, so this is a subunit vaccine, hepatitis B vaccine. And vaccine for the plague. Okay, this is also another vaccine available in this method. Right, now we are going to see another interesting one, that is the fourth type. It is toxoid vaccine. Okay, so anyone know what is toxins? So what are toxins? See, toxins means these are the endogenous substances secreted by bacteria. Okay, see, in some cases what happen in some diseases, the pathogen is not danger. Okay, pathogen or bacteria virus danger kadamma. అవేం చేస్తాయంటే కొన్ని టాక్సిన్స్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తాయి, అవి డేంజరస్. ఓకే, సో మనం అలాంటి డిసీజెస్ కి వ్యాక్సిన్స్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసేటప్పుడు వెన్ ఆర్ ప్రిపేరింగ్ వ్యాక్సిన్స్ ఫర్ such diseases, what we should do, we should not take the whole pathogen, we should take that toxin to prepare the vaccine. Okay, such toxins when they are neutralized and kept in the vaccines, they are called toxoids. Okay, so the toxins are modified into toxoid, and this toxoid is formulated into the vaccine. Clear? So for example, see, you're having you're having this one second. Yeah, diphtheria. So and tetanus. See, is this tetanus is caused by mycobacterium, one of the mycobacterium families only. So in this tetanus, the bacteria is not dangerous. Okay, but the bacteria will produce some toxins. These toxins will cause the disease. In some cases, the toxins will cause the disease. So how to prepare vaccines for this disease is, we will not totally, okay, take the pathogen into vaccine. We will only isolate these toxic substances and then we will neutralize them and we will make them into vaccines. They are called as toxoid vaccines, right? So when this, so scientists found that they will inactivate these toxins, okay, mainly by treating with some chemical processes with formalin, okay, and other substances, and these toxins are modified into toxoids and they will become safe, and then they are used as vaccines, right? So this is one type of vaccines where the toxins are modified to toxoids and toxoids are used to prepare vaccines, right? So this is the another type. Okay, coming into its safety and stability. Since toxins are taken, the 100% immunological response is not achieved. They are not highly immunogenic. Okay, and coming into stability and safety, they are okay. Example is tetanus vaccine and diphtheria vaccine. Next is conjugate vaccine. So what is this conjugate? So in the name itself, it is there. Conjugate means joining two things. It is called conjugate vaccine. So what happened? Along I told that in subunit only the part of the vaccine is, part of the pathogen is taken. Same way in conjugate, what will happen? Along with the antigen, they will take another part also to use it. Okay. Yeah, madam, can change the slide. I can go to slide number 19. So conjugate vaccines. Here what happened? So to along with the active pathogen material, another useful materials also will be attached to it. Okay, such like polysaccharide coating. Okay, in some cases these proteins are used. So these vaccines are always conjugated with another pathogen material. Okay, in order for getting immunological response. Okay, see what happens. In one example is given here. See what happens in some younger people, in infants. In sometimes, the infants are very rarely affected. Okay, they are not fully affected with this hemophilia, but infant cells are immature, so they can only not, they are not ready to identify this antigen, but they can identify only the plasma memory of the pathogen. Okay, so at that time these vaccines are prepared. Okay, so what are these vaccines means, along with the antigen, this membrane protein is also attached, or a polysaccharide layer is also attached to this vaccine, and the vaccines are prepared. So they are called conjugate vaccine, right? So along with an active antigen part of the pathogen, they will attach one conjugate material of the pathogen, such as protein, glycoprotein, or poly. These are same like subunits only. Okay, but along with the subunit, they will be attaching another material. See, this polysaccharide and attached proteins does not have any part in the virulence. Okay, they are only a conjugate one which will aid for the immunological response. They will aid for the immunological response. They will help this anti or immune cells to recognize the antigen very faster. Okay, clear? See, if pathogen is X, if I sending only X, he is not well recognized. So everyone knows Y. So I will send X along with the Y. So if Y also goes, what happen? Easily the people will identify the Y, and they will think next to the Y they will be X, and the immunological response can be produced. Same way, when in conjugate along with the antigen, there will be an protein molecule, or there will be an polysaccharide molecule. So along with them, they will attach this. Okay, so it can be easily identified, and the immunological response were produced. So only they are called as conjugate vaccines, right? Because they are linked. Conjugate means linking. So they are linked with some other substances. They are called as conjugate vaccines. Okay, so hemophilia influenza vaccine is one of the example for this conjugate vaccine. And the next one is DNA vaccine. So what is this DNA vaccine? This is a very latest methodology nowadays used. Okay, so what happens in this DNA vaccine? So the pathogen is completely isolated and its DNA sequence is noted. Okay, its DNA. See, all the so there are the viruses are mostly RNA in their pattern. They won't have DNA, but they will have RNA. So what this our scientists will do, they will isolate this RNA and they will decode it into a DNA, and then DNA code is made. And this DNA, why? Because see, our immune system takes time to read RNA, but DNA sequence it can read very fast. So these DNA vaccines are given. Okay, so the genetic code is isolated from the, or the genetic matter is taken from the pathogen, and their DNA is identified, and their DNA is made into vaccines. So these vaccines only contain a part of genome or a part of DNA. Okay, so when this part of DNA is exposed to the human body, our immune cells will recognize this part of the DNA as a foreign one, and they will produce immunological response. And coming to safety, efficacy, and stability, these three are proved to be very good in DNA vaccines. So one of the example for this is influenza vaccine. Okay, this was very recently prepared influenza vaccine. So you can see the slide number 26 where this DNA vaccine, how it is prepared. So RNA genome will be extracted and RNA will be converted into DNA, and the genetic sequence of the DNA is made, and these are amplified. These are amplified into gene antigen. Okay, and these antigens are multiplied into so many quantities, and they are kept in a very good carrier called plasmids, and then their vaccines are prepared and they are administered into the person, right? So ప్యాథోజన్ జరిగితే ఇప్పుడు ఆ ప్యాథోజన్ ని కిల్ చేసి అడ్మినిస్ట్రేట్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదమ్మా. దాని జస్ట్ చిన్న ఆర్ఎన్ఏ మొక్క దొరికినా చాలు. ఓకే, we will take that. From that we will pull out all the history genome of that pathogen and we will prepare the antigen. Antigen మనకు దొరకపోయినా పడలేదు, just RNA molecule దొరికితే చాలు. With that we will prepare the antigen, and then this antigen will be kept in a suitable carrier plasmid, and then vaccine will be prepared and it is given to the person to produce immunological response. Okay, so these are some DNA vaccines. Example for DNA vaccine is influenza vaccine. Okay, so next one is recombinant vector vaccines. So this was the 7th one and last one. So this recombinant technology, rDNA technology, or all of you know what is the recombinant technology, you know? Okay, so this is same like DNA technology. So same like DNA, the DNA is okay. This DNA is isolated, and next attenuated viruses and bacteria are also taken. దీనికి డిఫరెన్స్ రెండేమా, DNA virus ki recombinant vector vaccines ki. DNA vaccines ఏం చేస్తామంటే the DNA sample is isolated, it is kept into a carrier vector and then given to the patient as vaccine. In recombinant what will happen, we will collect the same the DNA sequence. Here the vector will be same pathogen, okay, killed pathogen. It will be either bacteria or the viruses, and then it is given. Okay, so example for this recombinant is DPT vaccine. Okay, so so many plasmids nowadays the carrier for the for this vaccines are important. So now the carriers, most of the study is happening on the carrier. They are called as vector. Carrier name antarante vector antam DNA rDNA technology. Okay, so many vaccines have been, so many pathogens had been identified, and people are now scientists are identifying the vectors to carry this DNA. Okay, so only they named it as recombinant vector vaccines. Mundidi DNA vaccine, అక్కడ సేమ్ DNA isolate చేస్తారు, దాన్ని ఒక ప్లాస్మిడ్ లో పెడతారు, they will give it directly to the patient. Here recombinant technology, the DNA vaccine will be, the DNA will be isolated and then it is recombinant into a vector, into a carrier like bacteria or virus, and then it is given to the patient. So these are the methodology is same, but ikkada emante vector untunda, akkada vector undadu. Okay, that is how DNA and recombinant vaccines will work. Clear? And see what are the some of the examples for this recombinant vaccines. Okay, okay, BCG strain of Mycobacterium bovis is also now, BCG vaccine is also now prepared by this recombinant vector methodology. Okay, so these are different types of methodologies, how are types of vaccines. So once again I am telling, so based upon the available, we will call them as monovalent vaccines, polyvalent vaccines, and combination vaccines. And based upon the methodology they are prepared, we are having 7 types. They are live attenuated vaccine, inactivated vaccines, subunit vaccines, topsoid vaccines, conjugate vaccines, DNA vaccines, and recombinant vector vaccines. Okay, now another important aspect to look into is composition of the vaccine. What if you get a vial of the vaccine, what are the components? You can have the Last slide, madam. Last slide. Yeah. So this is very important, ma. Another important thing to be noted, the components of vaccine. So every vaccine should contain these 5 components. So it should contain the antigen. So the antigen aligna undochu. I told no in 7 methods, they can follow any method. So vector can be there, or DNA fragment can be there, or attenuated live cell can be there, or killed cells can be there, or subunit can be there. Okay, so any type, but antigen should be there, or conjugate type it can be there. So antigen must be present, okay, which is related to pathogen. Next, you should use some stabilizers. Okay, so the stabilizers are mainly used for its stability, okay, for maintaining its pharmaco kinetics. Okay, so the stabilizers are used. And the next one is adjuvants. What are these adjuvants means? So 2 times we got the adjuvants. So what are the adjuvants? So adjuvants means these are mainly adjuvants are mainly used in the vaccines to stimulate the production of antibodies. They will help, or they will help the immunological response, or they will help the immune cells to easily recognize the antigens. So they are called adjuvants, and they will help our immune system to easily recognize the antigens and to produce the antibodies. Okay. Stabilizers, I told you, they are mainly used to maintain the efficacy, okay, during the storage. And the next one is, again, it is not adjuvants, it is antibiotics. Okay, so the third one is antibiotics. So why antibiotics are used in this means to prevent when the vaccines are told, there will to prevent the contamination, bacterial contamination. Some antibiotics are also given into the vaccines. Okay, so that is the fourth one is antibiotics, no, not adjuvants. Third one is adjuvants, and the fourth one is antibiotics. And the last thing is some preservatives are given. Okay, so some preservatives are added for preserving these vaccines for a long time, like formaldehyde, okay, phenols are used. Okay, so this phenyldehyde is used. So these and all are preservatives for storing it, for protecting it or storing it for the long time. Okay, so this is how a components of vaccine. So vaccine will contain antigen and stabilizer and adjuvants, antibiotics, and then preservatives, right? Okay, these are the things. So once I am summarizing, today we have seen the types of vaccines based on their availability. They are monovalent, polyvalent, and combination vaccine. Then coming into their types based upon the methodology they are prepared, we are having live attenuated vaccines, inactivated vaccines, subunit vaccines, toxoid vaccines, conjugate DNA vaccines, and recombinant vaccines. Right. So we have seen their efficacy, safety, and stability. Okay, these are the things. And what are the examples we have discussed? And we have discussed the composition of an vaccine. Right. Okay, this is all with this section. You can have, if you have any queries, you please put it in the chat box, or you can speak it out. Madam will help us through this. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in DNA vaccines, only gene is found, sir.
Yes, ma. Genome part is taken. Genome part. DNA genome part. DNA itself is a genome part. See, they will take the genome part, they will decode it. With that, they will prepare the antigen, and then antigen is given. They will use the DNA matter, okay, and they will prepare the antigen. This antigen will be combined with a carrier, and then they will be given. Then I found here to which category this Covaxin and Covishield. Okay, see, Covaxin is live attenuated vaccine. Okay, live cells are given. Covishield was vector model. Seventh one is there, no? DNA vector model. Here mRNA is isolated and then they are prepared. That is the thing.
Thank you, sir. Students, anyone having any queries, please respond in the chat box or you can talk directly. Sir, one more question. Why are there so many vaccines?
So many types of vaccines. See, all there are different methods to develop vaccines. To increase I told you that 3 points are there, no? To increase its efficacy, safety, and stability. So to achieve these 3 parameters very successfully, they have developed many types of vaccines in many methodologies. Okay. So to improve these parameters only, this such a long methodologies are there. Okay, you can ask one method is sufficient, no sir? Why so many methods? That's what I'm telling. To achieve this 3 parameters 100%, such methods are all developed. So among all types of vaccines, which vaccine is more perfect? See, latest DNA technology and DNA vaccines are very good. Okay, they are proving to be very effective. Okay, but see, the ancient method, live attenuated vaccines will produce immunity very fast, but they were having, I told no, in some persons this vaccine this pathogen can go inside and mutate into the active form. Okay, so only they are not preferred.
Sir, one more question. Do the vaccines work against virus and bacteria?
Yes, for that purpose only they are prepared. They will not work. They will improve your immune system, and your immune system will fight against them. They will not directly fight anything. There, I told vaccines are not medications. Okay, they will enhance your. This is a preventive methodology, preventive therapy, where your immune system will be prepared to fight against vaccines and bacteria.
One more question. Among all types of vaccines, which vaccine is more preferred?
See, all the 3 are Covishield and Covaxin and Sputnik, all are proved to be having 90% efficacy. Okay, but if you want one thing you should remember is availability. Okay, so availability you should see. Covaxin, I told no, Covaxin directly live attenuated forms are given. So easily the immunological response will be very fast. So you are in very need, you can take that. And Covishield is a recombinant DNA vaccine. Okay, it is also efficacy, but Covaxin can produce immunological response very fast than Covishield. Covishield is a little bit slow. It will produce immunological response, but it takes time. The Sputnik vaccine is also same as Covax.
Sorry, which is better, Covishield or Covi vaccine or?
Yeah, for that only I just know.
Okay. If the same virus causes 2 different diseases, can same vaccines related to that virus can cure body?
Yeah,
Both.
at that time I told no, they will go for poly vaccines. Okay, poly vaccines will be prepared. Okay, so same is causing 2 different diseases means we can prepare only one vaccine. Okay, but for 2 diseases, strains will be examined, and this the strains will be mutated, and from that mutation the antigen will be prepared, and then it will be prepared as vaccine. Okay, so they are called as polyvaccines, right? Or if there are many diseases, it will go into a combination vaccine.
One more question. Sir, I think Covaxin is inactivated vaccine, but you are saying live actions.
It is attenuated one. No, it is a live attenuated one.
Why cannot our body prepare own vaccination without vaccines?
Surely they will prepare. Surely they will prepare. Immune system will surely prepare. But beforehand, for prevention method, we are using vaccines. It is a preventive method.
Vaccine is better, sir.
Vaccines are proved to be good. Okay. See, tomorrow section I will be taking exclusively about this corona and about Covishield and Covaxin only. So tomorrow we will discuss very in detail about this Covishield and Covaxin. Okay. Any queries you can ask regarding this Covishield and this one after tomorrow section. Tomorrow section is mainly about this Covishield and Covaxin. I will be discussing about that. After that, if still having any queries, we will discuss. From today section, you can put the questions.
Friends, anyone having any queries, please respond, or anyone can speak.
Hello, Sumant garu. Hello.
చెప్పండి.
సుమంత్ గారు, ఇప్పుడు కిడ్స్ అందరికి కూడా నార్మల్ గా ఏజ్ ఆఫ్ 5 years వరకు వ్యాక్సినేషన్స్ చేస్తారు కదా, అంటే ఇలాంటివన్నీ రాకన్నా ఉండడం కోసం.
Yes, madam.
అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ వేవ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కిడ్స్ కి ఏమీ ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, వ్యాక్సినేషన్ చేయించాం కాబట్టి ఇష్యూ లేదు అని ఫస్ట్ అనౌన్స్మెంట్ చేశారు. అండ్ సెకండ్ వేవ్ లో కూడా ఇష్యూ లేదు అన్నట్టుగా అన్నారు. ఇప్పుడు థర్డ్ వేవ్ ఏదో వస్తుంది, ఇది కిడ్స్ మీద అటాక్ ఇస్తుంది అంటున్నారు. సో మరి ఆ వ్యాక్సినేషన్స్ ఇక్కడ పనిచేయమంటారా, లేకపోతే ద వైరస్ విచ్ ఈస్ అటాకింగ్ ఇస్ మోర్ డేంజరస్ దాన్ ద వ్యాక్సిన్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఆల్రెడీ టేకెన్?
Madam, Covaxin and Covishield was not tested in the children up to now. Okay. But Pfizer vaccine was tested on the clinical trials were tested on the children. And yesterday, this Pfizer vaccine was tested in USA and it also got FDA approval. Okay. And they have also administered it for 2,000 children and the results were very hopeful. Okay. So I hope next in India also Covaxin and Covishield clinical trials were running on the children and pregnant women. Okay. Up to now, they were not tested further, but clinical trials were running. After that, Pfizer vaccine is available now for children. It got approval also. US people are taking it now.
ఓకే సార్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు కోవాక్సిన్ ఇవైతే దే వర్ నాట్ సూటబుల్ ఫర్
They were not for children. They were above
18 years అంతే కదా.
Yes.
ఓకే, దట్స్
and they are not suitable for pregnant and lactating women also.
ఓకే 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 సార్. అదే దిస్ వాజ్ నాట్ అవేర్, అంటే చాలా మందికి తెలీదు. ఈవెన్ ప్రెగ్నెంట్ ఉమెన్ వర్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ కోవాక్సిన్
No,
అండ్
no,
కోవిషీల్డ్.
they should not. Clinical trials were not done.
ఓకే ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, you can ask.
Hello, sir. Is Covaxin inactivated vaccine or live attenuated vaccine, sir?
It is attenuated vaccine.
Then what is Covishield, sir?
Covishield is DNA vector vaccine.
Sputnik V?
Sputnik V is also attenuated one.
Students, anyone having any queries, please respond. మా అందరికి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఫామ్ పనిచేస్తుంది. ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆల్ 230 మెంబర్స్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ సబ్మిట్ చేశారు. ప్లీజ్ చెక్ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ సైడ్ ఆల్సో. ఎవరికైనా క్వరీస్ ఉన్నాయా? If no queries, we'll close the section for today. Please respond.
Sir, sir,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm able to hear you. Can ask.
yes, sir. Sir, vaccines are prepared by using horse serum, sir.
I did not get you.
Vaccines preparation, sir.
Yeah. Today we saw there are 7 methods. What I told no, they are prepared by that. See, pathogen can be collected from different samples. They will be collected from blood sample. They will be collected from serum sample. They can be collected from blood or extracellular fluids. Okay. So the collection of the material will be from different fluids of the body. Even from the sweat also they will collect. Okay. And then they will follow these 7 methods what I discussed, and they will prepare the vaccine. Okay. So the raw material will get from blood, plasma, sweat, and different parts of the body also.
Okay. Sir, from animals also they will collect, sir.
Sure. Actually, first studies were done by the animals only. Okay, preclinical. No? Preclinical means clinical means on humans. Preclinical means before humans. Pre. So all these preclinicals were done. Okay, for example, COVID vaccine was also first done on chimpanzees only. Chimpanzee is very related to human. Okay. So 22 chromosomes of us and chimpanzee are same. Only one chromosome will change. So the immediate relative to the humans was chimpanzee only. So this COVID SAR virus, which the virus for Covaxin, was first tested on chimpanzee in preclinical. Next in clinical, it was tested on the humans and then got approved. Every vaccine will first they will have preclinical studies only.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Now.
Sir, present coronavirus 90 spikes లాగా ఉంది అంటున్నారు కదా సార్.
What is that?
9 spikes చాలా ఉన్నాయి కరోనా
Excuse me. బ్యాక్ సైడ్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉందమ్మా, కొంచెం క్లారిటీ చూసుకుని అడుగు, డిస్టర్బెన్స్ లేకుండా. యువర్ వాయిస్ ఈస్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్లీ.
కరోనా వైరస్ స్పైక్స్ ఉన్నాయి అంటున్నారు కదా సార్ ప్రెసెంట్.
Yeah.
అవి ఒక్కొక్క బాడీలో వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఒక్కొక్క స్పైక్ అట్లా ఉంటుందా లేకపోతే ఎలా?
Actually, that is stains. Okay, see, the clarity about the stains of coronavirus is not yet given. Okay, see, if you are following the news, latestly in UP, one university, nearly 50% died, and that vice chancellor of that university wrote that in their they are using all the medicine, but they were not still recovered. So he told that it can be a different stain. Okay, he wrote to ICMR telling that this was a different stain, please look into it. So there are multiple approaches from the country telling that there are different stains, but the clear idea about the stains was not yet known. Okay, coming into spikes, what you are speaking, see the spikes, they are not called spikes, actually they are called glycoproteins. Okay, so all glycoproteins are not active, only some glycoproteins will act as antigens. Okay, so some hypothesis for that there, it is not clearly proved that some glycoproteins are very virulent and some glycoproteins are less virulent. They are speaking like this, but it is not scientifically proved. Okay, this was just a hypothetical theories.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Students, please submit the feedback form. And tomorrow at sharp 4 o'clock we'll start the section. Be safe, stay at home. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. The section was closed.